Today we are going out to the lake and we take a walk with all our children and we have fresh air and we go to a climbing tree and have some fun. It's very important to be outside and to run and jump.
We think that being outside is a good opportunity to learn a lot of things.
However, the learning on these daily excursions is far from structured. No formal questions or worksheets, but plenty of time to play with the children. The class explore the lake and woods using all their senses, but there's no expectation on the practitioners to collect evidence about what the children see, feel and understand.
I do know something about the kind of evidential gathering systems that are in place in preschool in the UK now, and there isn't that here. There's much more attunement to individual needs. You're not working towards testing, for example. There's almost a logic that demands that you work to the tests and everybody's treated the same, because that's the only way you can do that. If there aren't any tests, you work to the individuals. That seems to me to be a difference in the way the whole system's structured.
It follows that in preschool there are no formal lessons as such, not even in literacy.
Då klappar vi händerna samtidigt. Maximilian! Oj, vad många!
We don't teach reading and writing in that systematical way. We are trying to build a base for reading and writing.
These rising sixes play games with language 3 times a week. It's called Literacy Hour, but you won't find phonics, big books or plenaries.
Här står det elefant.
They meet in small groups perched on adult-sized chairs to match the dimensions of the grown-up world outside.
Här står det krokodil. Krokodilen.
If the child is very interested in letters, of course they will write letters and we show them how to do it. But they don't need to.
Krokodil.
It's their choice. If they are interested, they will do it.
Krokodil. When the time that the children live here, they have a good start to begin reading in the school.
If the children here look happy and content, it may have a lot to do with the fact that the same class have been together since starting preschool. The Swedes feel this continuity of care is vitally important. They're big on continuity. Until recently, the Motala City Council was run by the same party for 58 years, which certainly helps create a consistent education policy.
We work a lot with language development through play and don't believe it's necessary to have so much formal learning. You can't force a child to learn to read. I think parents are good at spending time reading with their children, and we encourage this.
Airport worker Pele Eric works shifts, which means he often gets the chance to collect his daughter Stella from the preschool. It's just a short drive from their home. Parents here send their children to the nearest community school. There's no competition for places and no scrabble to get into a school with the best results, because they don't have league tables. Stella is 2 years old and has just started her 2nd year, and like all the other children, joined a vertically grouped class.
No. No? I think it's a good thing to have different ages. She will learn from the older kids. Maybe it's not all good, but and maybe she can teach something to the younger kids when they arrive at the nursery school. They will learn as soon as they want to, not earlier. It's she will develop in small steps. When they're interested, then they can start to read. Now it's pictures and the words come out from there, and it has to take time. They can't be growing too fast. I think the most important thing is for her to be happy.
All parents can track their children's progress at the preschool by reading the pupil portfolios that are kept in each classroom.
For me, it's not important that they know how to read and write when they finish preschool. It's important that maybe if they're having fun by learning the alphabet, then they will learn it, and they will learn how to count to 10 or 20, the numbers, and maybe they can say 1 + 1 is 2, because they think it's fun. And I think that's a good start when they enter the normal school.
My feelings are that if you are a secure kind of person, you are a better learner. If you're allowed to play and you have grown-ups that help you communicate with your friends, and then you will be a secure human being, and you will learn faster, and you will think that it's fun.
Here you won't find parents boasting about academic attainment.
I think parents still compare their children with each other, but maybe in other skills. My child can know how to swim and is only 4 years old, or he knows how to play football or go by a bicycle and is only 5 years old. I think they compare in other things than learning how to read and write.
I know it's there in the UK culture, and it's very deeply embedded. I mean, I remember it from when I was a child. You know, it was a big thing that I could read at an early age, and it was kind of good that I could do that, and it showed my intelligence that I could do that, as my parents thought. There clearly isn't that problem here.
And this relaxed, non-prescriptive attitude to reading and writing doesn't appear to hinder the Swedish pupils. In fact, it's the opposite.
Sabotage är ett gammalt ord. Kommer från ett språk som talas i stora delar av...
By the age of 10, they excel in literacy, topping the European League table.
It's not only that in Sweden it seems as if they finish up with higher levels, ultimately. They also finish up with lower levels of illiteracy. That might actually be more significant. And I begin to wonder if, in fact, by focusing so much on literacy in the early years in the UK, by the time they get to the age of 7 or 8, there's a significant portion of children who are already deemed failures and to have failed. And of course we know once that's set in, it's very difficult to turn round.
Loppans gymnastikskor var nästan för små och väldigt utslitna.
When they start school when they are 7 years old, most children are very excited. Now I'm going to start school, I'm going to learn how to read and write and count and all this. So I think they're more excited of school. I think it's more interesting because they have been children up to 6 and played around and have fooled around and having fun.
I just wonder whether that's part of the difference, the lack of that testing regime, the lack of that urgency to have them reading by 5 or 6. It may be that more naturally the children, certainly within Sweden it seems to be the case, progress onto that kind of activity in terms of their, if you like, I don't know, neurological development or their understanding of the world at a slightly older age. And through doing it at a slightly older age, they're more likely to pick up on it across the board, if you like.
The secret is that we work with every child's needs. That is why we have been so successful in Sweden.
Perhaps this gym session says a lot about the Swedish way. There's plenty of risk-taking, allowing children to have belief in themselves while feeling secure and safe with the same teachers they've known since starting preschool. There's bonding and trust, a key feature of the Swedish education system.
It is the case in Sweden that the teachers are trusted, and I mean, I'm saying that with a little hesitation because teachers in the UK have long complained about the fact that they aren't trusted. They haven't been seen as professional. I think that's changing a bit now, but it's very clearly the case in Sweden that the teachers are seen as professionals, and they're left to get on with their job. They know what needs doing, and they get on and do it.
Some of the staff here have had the chance to see how things work in the UK and are in no doubt about where they'd rather be.
We play more to educate. They have more like school.
And what do you think of that?
I think that what we do are better.
We communicate more with our children.
So, let's imagine Everlot Peterson was given the chance to transplant her preschool into the UK. A school free of targets and testing, where children are not overstimulated but given the space to play and develop. Where there's time for children to learn and teachers to teach. Would it work?
Yes, why not? But I think that maybe it will take a couple of years because the tradition in England are so old and you have had this system for so long. So maybe it will take some time, but for the children I think it will work perfectly.
I think the children will get used to it quite quick, but maybe the teachers and parents and all the adults takes longer time for them to get used to something new.
The Swedish model is the Swedish model, and the notion that you could kind of export one model of how to do education and just transplant it into another country, it just wouldn't make sense. I mean, there are so many factors, cultural factors, sort of operating in the country that are so different from the UK that would make it not sensible to try and do that.
And of course there's the small question of money. Does the Swedish model only work so well because it's been so well funded over so many years? Or perhaps it works because they have faith. Faith in the children, faith in the teachers, and overall, faith in the system.